Hi everyone! So I know it's been a really long time and I'm super late on this review for Mac Indulge, but I've been super busy and also I just kind of realized I wasn't doing amazingly great reviews anymore. I was kind of overthinking it and I decided to take a little bit of a break so I can really kind of try more stuff and get some more experience and get back to loving doing my reviews rather than just kind of doing them. So I feel like that's more helpful for me and for you too because I'm more informative that way. So I took a break, I'm done, I'm back, and I'm going to be reviewing Mac Indulge. I looked on the website and it looks like a lot of this stuff is still available. Some things are definitely not, and I apologize for that, but I think I've reminded you guys in the past that you can always go look at Mac counters, go to Mac stores, and call around to Mac stores to see if they will ship to you if there's something that is not available online that you really want. So all is not lost. And I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to jump in with the lipstick. So I only got one of the lipsticks. The other ones weren't really all that impressive, just quality-wise. The pigmentation wasn't there for a lot of them, or they were maybe a bit too sheer for my liking. I'm not a huge fan of frost lipsticks either, so anything that has a little bit of a frostiness to us is automatically just like a no thank you. So the one I did get, I was very excited about. It's a satin, and I'm usually not a huge fan of satins, but it's called Just a Bite, and you can see it here. It's kind of like a deep red color. I'm going to swatch it, and you can see it's kind of like a deep berry wine red, and there you go. Super beautiful color. Very excited to wear it for fall. My lips are a little chapped right now, so just excuse that. As you can see, it's a very rich, vibrant color. But in usual satin fashion, MAC satins tend to feel a bit dry as soon as you put them on. They end up gliding on just fine, but then they end up having like this bit of tackiness that you know is end up going it's going to dry down and end up being a bit drying. That's just something that's true about all MAC satins, but it's still a beautiful color, so it's not a deal breaker. So there you go. That is Just a Bite. For the lip glosses or lip glasses, I ended up getting 4, which was more than I expected. Usually I'm not a huge fan of the lip glasses that come out. These two I actually thought were going to be too close to each other that I wouldn't want both of them. So I'll swatch them and you'll see they're actually quite different. So here we'll start with this one. It's called Liqueur, and it's kind of this like bronzy, almost like, I guess, like a bronzy cinnamon color almost. I'll swatch it for you here. So in the swatch, it ends up looking very, very bronze and almost having like a sheen to it, which I'm usually not a fan of, but when I tried it on my lips, it was actually very, very gorgeous. Because my lips actually have a bit of a pigment to them, so if your lips have a bit of a pigment to them as well, this is a really great just kind of like finishing off a look without adding too much color kind of a lip gloss, and that's exactly why I got it. I ended up really liking how it added a bit of color and some sheen without being too in your face. And once it was on my lips, because it is such a muted color, and it ended up not looking very metallic-y, so it was really nice. The next one I got is called Fashion Punch. As you can see, is just a very neutral kind of color, and I got it because it's a warm neutral. I have a really hard time finding neutral colors that don't end up going too ashy or too light on my lips and then that make it kind of look like it's unnatural. This is a really nice warm nude that you know, ended up looking very, very natural on me, whether I put it on alone or over a natural lip liner. Then it ended up looking a lot better than, say, a much lighter toned like Boy Bait. You know, I love that color, but it's always so light, it ends up looking like I have chalk on my lips. So it's not a particularly flattering color. The next one I got was Utterly Tart. And this is a very fun color. Like I said, these two are very similar. Obviously, this leans more blue. This leans more red. And we'll swatch them here. So this one packs a bit of a punch. Utterly Tart has a lot of pigmentation to it. And it's very pretty, as you can see there. And the next one is Lust for Life. I just want you guys to see that Lust for Life has almost like a sheen to it, whereas Utterly Tart does not. It's also more of a kind of a magenta color, whereas this is more red. So as you can see, this is, you know, more purple, more red. So they're not exactly the same. You can see it better from far away. So those are all the lip colors that I got, and they're such great colors for fall. I was actually a huge fan. I remember when I saw the collection online, I didn't think I was going to get very much, but once I saw them in person, they actually were really great colors. The next stuff that I got, let's see, I ended up getting 3 of the eyeshadows. I was very choosy with these, mostly because I felt like while they were great colors, there were a lot that were just lacking in pigmentation or were gritty, and I wasn't a huge fan. So my favorite one that I got was Divine Decadence, and it looks like this. And it's a beautiful bronzy taupish kind of color. Let's see. There you go. And I'm going to swatch that. It's very pigmented, and it has a beautiful, almost goldish sheen to it, as you can see there. It's like a brown that almost has a tinge of purple. So it's like brownish copper, tinge of purple, and a gold sheen. It's a very beautiful color, and it's very, as you can see there, it's very, it's intricate. It has a lot going on with it, and I just thought it was gorgeous. It was my favorite one. It was the first one I put aside. The second color that I got is actually a color that's come out before. It's called Palace Pedigreed. Yes, and it actually came out with a 4 eyeshadow palette that it was called Palace Pedigreed, and I didn't enjoy the 4 colors that came out with this one, or with the palette. I wanted this color, and so I was really glad when I realized that they were releasing it on its own. So it's a satin, and I know some people really hate it because if I just do a light swatch, you can see right there, it's a beautiful color, but it can be a bit patchy. But that's because it's almost matte. I don't know why. I mean, it definitely is a satin. It's not exactly matte, but it has matte qualities to it, so that its consistency just needs to be worked with a little bit more. It's a little stiffer, but if you're willing to work with it, this is the beautiful color you can build it up to. So, you know, like, this is just so pretty. It's got a bit of a sheen. It's like this deep, beautiful purple color. And it ends up, you know, if you're willing to work with it, it's a great color. It is stiffer than most colors that people usually like. But if you've worked with any kind of matte MAC eyeshadow and you like it, you'd love Palace Pedigree as well. And then the last one I got was Eat Love, and this is also a satin. And it looks like this. And so that's what it looks like in the pan. It looks a bit different once you swatch it. This one does not have the problem that Palace Pedigree has. This one is much easier to work with. It's not super stiff, but it's also not incredibly pigmented. So that's, you know, 2 swatches, I guess, on top of each other. Here's a third one. And there's the third. So as you can see, it has a hint of a sheen. You can see it on my finger. There's like the kind of, it's not exactly a duochrome. It's more of a sheen because if I move it in the other direction, it doesn't look any different, but it definitely has, you know, it's kind of like a grayish green black color. So very pretty. And so those are the 3 eyeshadows that I got all together. And then I ended up getting both blushes. I'm usually not a fan of cream blushes, to be honest, but when I saw these, I actually really liked them as I swatched them. So, sorry, thought I had hair in my face. This one is called Tease Your Tastes, and it looks like this here. It's all sweaty because it's super hot in my house. It actually sweats so much, it evened itself out. I had a swatch in there before. So it looks like this. So as you can see, it's kind of a neutral, pinky peachy kind of neutral color. So I'm going to swatch that for you. Oh, geez, this is wet. I have to clean that. There we go. Okay. So there's the swatch. As you can see, very pretty peachy nude, sorry, peachy pink nude, neutral kind of color. You can see it there. Once it's blended out a little more. Very, very pretty. I was a huge fan of this one. And so that's Tease Your Tastes. And then the other one that I got was Glamour Feast. And this is a much deeper berry color. It looks like this. And once I swatch it, it looks like that if it's built up. Obviously no one would wear it that way. So if I blend it out a bit, that's what that looks like right there. So this would look really great on deeper skin tones. This actually looks really nice on me as long as I have a light hand with it. If you're very fair skinned, you can totally pull it off, but you have to be careful and have a light hand because it's fairly pigmented and it is a very deep color. As for Tease Your Taste, this one is more forgiving. You know, it has more of a nude quality to it. So, you know, if you're in the deeper skin tones, then you're going to have to build it up. I think past NC40, you probably wouldn't be able to see much. But below that, I think this would be great for fairer to medium skin tones. It would be a great color. It shows up on me and I'm NC35, so it's still a really good color for medium skin tones. And that's everything that I got. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!